Good morning, everyone. So in our last class, the create deep entity, this is what we have covered. And in today's class, we are going to see the edit part. So let me just rewind this create deep entity so that because in the similar lines, the edit functionality will also happen. When I click on the create employee, so we are getting the employee details, and along with the employee details, we are also getting the add projects. Now I want to concentrate on this add projects because for the edit scenario also we have this table. We need to keep this table. So in create scenario, you have given an empty table, and this table is binded. So let me open this create controller, that is view to controller. So if you observe the code that we have written in the manifest.json, in our manifest.json, we declared a model called project model. So it is a JSON model. And this particular model initially is empty. So let me open the view to controller. So this project model, which is a JSON model, it is set with a data that is projects array, but this array is empty. And this empty array has been binded to this table. The empty array has binded to this table. Now this array does not contain any records. So this table does not contain any records. Okay. When you click on the plus button, we are pushing an empty object into this array. Array of projects dot push, and I inserted a empty object. So that's the reason you got this input fields with one row. And when you click on the delete button, so you are deleting that record from this JSON array. So like this, you are finding out the index, and from that index you are splicing out that particular record. So basically, these two methods we have used, and this JSON model we have used to handle this table. Okay, so why I repeated all this story? I repeated because in the edit functionality also we are going to do the same. Edit means what? So let me open this, the display mode, and now we are displaying the data of this employee. When I click on the edit mode, when I'm in the edit mode, I'm making only this form editable, but this table also we need to make editable. And edit means first we need to showcase the existing projects, and he can also add a new project, right? That is what is edit functionality meant by. If you want to add a new project, yes, he should be at a position to add the new project. Or if you want to delete the project, yes, he should be at a position to delete the project. Okay, so we are going to keep a similar kind of table, but this table, to add the project, to delete the project, so this table must be binded to the JSON model. Which JSON model? This JSON model. Because to add the row, we are inserting a empty JSON object into this array, and to delete the row, we are removing the record from this array. So if you want the addition and deletion functionality, so your table must be binded to this JSON model. Because if it is binded to the OData model, you cannot insert the row, you can't delete the row, correct? Okay, but there is one problem here. So let's say I created a table, and the table is binded to this JSON model. Okay, the table is binded to this JSON model, then the newly created table will be empty, correct? Because this JSON model does not have any rows. when the array does not have any records, obviously the table will not have any records. Getting my point? Array is empty means table is empty. But this particular employee is already having some records, is already having two project experiences. So first of all, you need to showcase the existing projects. You need to showcase the existing projects. Getting my point? So the moment he click on the edit button, we need to showcase the existing projects. He has two projects, right? Yeah. So these two projects we need to show. Okay. And then if you want to add the new project, he will add it. If you want to delete the existing project, he will delete it. That's up to him. Okay. But first, we need to handle the, we need to showcase the existing projects the moment he click on the edit button. Okay. So if I bind this JSON model, so actually this JSON model we have created for the create scenario. For the create scenario, this array must be empty. Okay. For the create scenario, this particular array must be empty. But for the edit scenario, this array should not be empty. This array should be filled with the already existing projects of the employee. Getting my point? Understand the concept? So instead of keeping, to avoid the conflicts, so we will do one thing. We will take another JSON model. So I will call that JSON model as project model. Okay, that is also project model, but in the edit scenario. So this is for the create scenario. We'll take another JSON model, and that JSON model initially we will fill with the project records of that employee. Okay, we'll fill that array with the project records of the employee, and after that, if we add the row, so we'll push an empty object. If we delete the row, so we'll delete that from the that index. That's all. So this is the only difference between the create scenario and edit scenario. So create scenario, the record will be empty, the array will be empty. Okay. So since he is a new employee, he does not have any projects, so the array will be empty. But in the edit scenario, since he is a existing employee, whatever the previous project experiences he has, so those records we need to show. Okay, but in the JSON model only. So it's a JSON model. So we need to showcase in the JSON model into this array. So how can I pull out the project experience records from the backend and fill this particular array? We already know that if you open your component.js, we have already know this particular method. Your OData model object has a read method, and this read method can read the URL that you are providing, and it can give you the data in a JSON format. So whatever you get in the JSON format, you store it in the JSON model. That's all. So we are going to do a manual model.read call to read the projects of a particular employee and store that particular data in our uh, JSON model. Okay. Uh, so by the way, you can also use this JSON model also for create and edit scenario combinedly. Like if it is a create scenario, you will make it empty. If it is a edit scenario, you will fill this array with the records. So like that, actually, if you want to do, we can do, but already we are doing in a single page, and I don't want you to, get confused too much. Okay, so let's go to the manifest.json, and I'm going to declare a new array, Control C, Control V, and call this model as project edit project model. So let's write edit projects, right? So edit project model. Okay, and go to the view to controller, and in the view to controller again, you need to declare this Control C, Control V. So from the component.js, we are saying get model, and I need edit project model. It's a JSON model. So let me copy this and call this as edit project model, and my edit project model dot set data, and inside array name can be same because it's a separate JSON model and this is a separate JSON model. So inside the JSON model, you can give the name, that's fine. So array of projects. Okay. One sec. Yeah. Next. So once you declare the JSON model, the next thing you need to do is you need to fill this JSON model with the existing records, of the employee. So how can you get the existing records of the employee? So if I write employee set, I will go get all the employees. So if I say employee set of 100001, I will get that employee details. And if I say slash two projects, I will get the projects of the employee. So that means I need to read this particular URL by using model.read statement and save the result into this JSON model. Correct? Now in this URL, can you tell me what is the variable thing? Can anybody tell me in this URL that I need to read? So what is varying? What is changing? What is the changing part in this URL?
employee ID.
Employee ID. So this employee ID, we are already getting it from the view one controller. So if you observe, we have written on pattern matched function, and inside the on pattern matched function, we are already getting the employee ID. Okay. So now what we need to do inside this function on pattern matched, we will call another function, and that is will declare a separate function. One second. Actually, we need to read this only when you click on the edit button. So we can load this when you click on the edit button, or we can we can readily load them and keep that in the JSON array. So anything is fine. So read projects of EMP. Okay, so I declared a separate function, and to this particular function, I will send this employee ID as a input. Okay, uh, and when you click on the edit button, where is edit button? Yeah, this is the edit button. So the moment he click on the edit button, so we need to read the employee project information and showcase that in this particular table. Okay, so the moment he press the edit button, we need to call this function, that is, there is a function that we declared. We can also call that function from on pattern match. But the thing is, if the employee is not clicking the edit button, but still you are reading it from the back end, so unnecessary call. It becomes an unnecessary call. If you click on the edit button, then only if you are reading, that becomes a necessary call. So here inside the on pattern match also you can read, okay, no problem. But the thing is, You are reading the employee project information and storing that in the JSON model. But let's say the employee did not click on delete. He just saw the data, that's all. So if that is the case, then this call becomes a unnecessary call if you are doing it here, right? So better we click on, let him click on the edit button. So when you click on the edit button, then we will read the data from the backend. Okay. So this particular function, I need to write Control X. I will write when you press on edit button, on press edit. So when you press on edit, let's call this function read projects of the employee. This dot read projects of the employee. We don't need to pass employee ID as a input, because when you click on the edit button, we can see this employee ID is already binded to this view. So from the views binding context, I can read the employee ID. So no need to pass that as a input. So let me do this. So variable emp id equal to this dot get view dot get binding context dot get property and which property? emp id. So I got the employee ID. Now I need to do a model.read call with this URL. So for that I need to get the OData model object. So how can I get the OData model object? I can say this dot get owner component means component.js. Hey Mr. Component.js, give me the model. Get model. Which model? OData model. So OData model is declared without any name. So you need to say get model. That's all, without any name. Now model.read. So you need to give this URL / employee set of some particular employee / two projects. So this gives the project information of a particular employee. Now in this entire string, the variable is employee ID. So whenever you are replacing a hard-coded value with a variable, always follow my shortcut. Step 1, replace the hard-coded value with the variable, and then we need to concatenate. So give plus on both sides and then double quotation on both sides of plus. That's all. And this has a success and error functions. So this is success function and this is error function. Right. Inside the success function, you will get the data, and inside error, you will get the error object. Right. So once it is success, I need to take my JSON model. So this is my edit JSON model. My JSON model dot set data and set this data that is coming all the way from the backend. Sorry, you need to fill this array, right? So you need to fill this array. So your JSON model. Otherwise, you can do one thing. You don't declare this array. So because from the backend you are already getting array. Okay, so we'll just declare the JSON model. That's all. So when the data comes from the backend, at that time you will get the array. Okay. So I just declared the JSON model and JSON model dot set data here. My JSON model. This dot edit project model is a JSON model dot set data and the data that I got from the backend. So this DATA data. So in case of error, I will write the message box dot error, and you can write unable to fetch the project's information. Okay, so some generic message you can give in this scenario, no problem. Okay, now let us keep the debug point and see if this particular function is called or not. Now I'm going to keep the debug point here. It's not required. Yeah. So I clicked on edit. So the debug point should get stopped. Let's see. 1 second. Where did I write this entire code? On press edit, I have called this dot read projects information. Yeah, this function has been called. Where I have kept the debug point. I have kept the debug point in a wrong place. So here we need to keep. Yeah, all right. Now let's cancel and click on this edit button again. So I click on edit. We got the employee ID, that is correct. Now let's keep one debug point inside the success and one debug point inside the error. So continue execution, continue this. Now you can see it has went into the success. Now I want to see what data I'm getting it from the backend. So I will copy this success function parameter data, and I will put this in the console area. Cannot read properties define. What is this? Okay, that's fine. I will tell you why it has come. Yeah, now this is data. Now inside this data, you can see the two projects we got. So this is project number 1 and this is project number 2. So both the data we have got. Got it, guys? So we have successfully have this data with us. Now this data will go and sit in the JSON model. But here there is a problem, guys, and that is uh, in this array, we should get only client name, employee ID, project code, project description, project name. So till here it is fine. But there is some extra thing called underscore metadata. So this will create a problem when you are sending this data again back to, when we are sending this data to the backend. At that time, this particular underscore metadata will give a problem. Okay, saying that this property does not exist in your entity. So this property is exist in the entity. All these are your entity properties: client name, employee ID, project code, project description, project name. So all these are the properties of your entity. But this underscore metadata, this has to be removed. Okay, so this is an unnecessary property. Actually, we should not keep this property at all. So how to remove this particular property? So you need to write delete data dot results, which is your array. So data dot results is your array. From this array, I will say results of 0. 0 means 0th record dot underscore metadata. What I said, delete. Which one to delete? Data dot results means data is an object, and inside that there is a results array, and inside results array 0th record. Okay, so 0 dot underscore metadata. I am saying to delete this underscore metadata. Now let us see what happens. Now again display data. So I displayed the data, and if you expand, if you can see, this underscore metadata is gone. There is no underscore metadata anymore. Client name, employee ID, project code, project description, and project name. Only 5 are there. So this underscore metadata is gone. Okay. All right. Similarly, you can also delete the underscore metadata from the second record. So in every record, you will get this underscore metadata, guys. So delete, again, same statement you can write, but change the index. So instead of 0, you need to say 1, so that if you display the data here, now you can see even in the first record, even in the second record, so this underscore metadata will not be there. Okay. But anyway, I will keep this as it is as of now, and will delete this only when we are sending this data to the backend. If the backend objects saying that this underscore metadata is undefined, or if we get any error, then we will remove it. As of now, I'm not writing this statement. If required, so definitely we will write this statement. Yeah. Anyway, so it is very clear that we got the project's data of this employee into the JSON model. Okay. Now, after I executing this line, if I execute this line, we will get an error. So all of you concentrate on this error. I continued, and you can see it went into some error. Actually, I just want to show you again. So let me cancel and click edit, continue inside the success. Now, if you go to the console, there is an error. It is saying undefined edit project model. And if you see the line number here, so it is saying that at line number 106, in the line number 106, there is error. So what is that error? The error is it is not able to understand this edit project model, and it is saying edit project model is undefined. Why this is saying edit project model is undefined? It is already defined at the top, correct? So if you go to your init function, this dot edit project model, this is already defined, right? So when it is already defined, it should not give the error saying that it is undefined. So this error is coming because inside the success function and error function, these are the responses from the backend. So even in the success function, even in the error function, in both of these functions, the keyword this will not work. It cannot understand the keyword this. So since it cannot understand the keyword this, so this becomes null. So null dot edit project model has no meaning at all. Null dot edit project model has no meaning at all. So that is the reason we are getting this error. Okay. So to avoid this error, SAP has given a special statement to the success function, and that is at the ending bracket of the success function, if you say dot bind of this, now what happens? The keyword this means current controller, current file. So this will be forcefully binded to the success function so that it will understand what is this. This means the same file, the current file. The current file is view to controller. So once it understands this means current file, so from the current file it can point to the edit project model, which is a JSON model. All right. So now let us repeat. I click on edit. So let's go to the F12. So click on edit again. Continue the execution. Now it went into the success, but in the console, there will not be any error. So these are not errors. So even if I continue executing this line, so you can see there is no error. It has smoothly executed this line. Got it? So always remember inside the success function, inside the error function, the keyword this will not work. If you want the keyword this to work, then you need to write at the end of the success function braces, you need to write dot bind of this. That's all. Okay, fine. So you are getting the backend data into the array. So what is the array name, guys? Always remember when the data is coming from the backend always keep the data in an array called results. Okay, fine. Now what we need to do is we need to open this edit fragment and keep a table here, and this table will be binded with this edit project model results array, right? So let's go and do this. I'm going to the edit fragment, and here we are going to add the table. So since the table is similar to your create scenario, let us copy paste. So I will go to the create scenario and I'm going to copy this table, Control C, and I'm going to keep this table here, Control V. Okay. But the model name, array names, everything is different. So let's use edit project model. This is the model name and array name is results. So from the backend, we are getting the array name and the array name is results. Whereas in a create scenario, we only given the array name because in the create scenario, we are not getting any projects from the backend. New employee will not have any projects, correct? So since there is no array in the create scenario, so we only created the array. This is create scenario. We only created the array name as projects. But in the edit scenario, we are getting data from the backend. When we are getting the data from the backend, it is already coming in the array called results. So why we need to create the array? Not required. So that is the reason we just pulled out this JSON model, but we didn't added the array. I hope you are getting the point here. Okay, so this is my table, and this is called the edit projects. Add row is fine, and delete is also fine. So everything is fine. Right. And one more thing is when you click on press add row, this function is already there in the controller on press add row, but this function is going to add a new row into your project model, means create scenario table. Okay, this is going to add into your create scenario table, not into the edit scenario table. So both the tables are different. So what you need to do, either you need to put some if and else condition in the same function, or if you do not want to get confused, you write separate functions for this edit scenario and push your records into the uh, into the array of your edit project JSON model. Okay, so let's keep it separate so that you not get confused. Okay, so anyway, let's see the output till now. Now this is my display screen. I'm clicking on the edit. I clicked on edit. I do not want this anymore. Seems there is error. Let's see. So it is saying some table is not a valid aggregation of the content something. One second. This is the same story. The story is inside the fragment when you have multiple UI elements like this. The fragment accepts some container should be there. Okay. So let's keep this inside a VBox. So we have did the same even in the create scenario. You can see. So I created a VBox. So did you understand why I'm creating a VBox here? Because whenever a fragment is loaded, the fragment points to the parent UI element. But here there are two UI elements two UI elements means two layouts. One is simple form and another one is table. Which one it should point? So it will have a confusion over there. So you need to wrap them inside a container. Okay, so let's take a vertical box and close it here. All right, and here the model name is also different, guys. So we need to give the model name. I forgot here. Yeah, now it should work. Okay, so let's click on the edit, and now you can see this table is showing the existing projects of the employee and the delete button, add button, everything it is showing. Okay, right. Uh, Now, when you click on the plus button, okay, when you are clicking the plus button, a new row should be added, and when you click on the delete button, so this record need to be deleted. So how can you handle this? So you can handle them using separate functions. So let us write the separate functions. On press add row, uh, but this function is for the edit scenario. So let me add at the end on press add row for edit scenario. So I just written for edit, and similarly for edit. Okay, so now let's go to the view to controller. So we already have this function on press add row on delete row. So let me duplicate them. Control C, Control V, but we need to change this like for edit, and this one also for edit, because we have given the name like that. On press add row for edit scenario, on delete row for edit scenario. So for the edit scenario, you need to push the empty record not into this array of projects, not into this JSON model. So your JSON model is different. Your JSON model is edit project JSON model dot get data dot array name, also different array name is results. So in the results array, you need to push empty object. So this is the only change. Remaining everything is same. JSON model dot refresh. So similarly, when you are deleting, uh, index is fine, but only JSON model name and array name you need to change. That's all. So my JSON model name dot get data and the array name is results dot splice. That's all. And JSON model dot refresh. So if you see, the code is same, guys. I just changed my JSON model and the array name. So here the JSON model is this dot project model. Here the JSON model is edit project model. Here the array name is array of projects. Here the array name is results. That's all. I not even changed any code. Same copy pasted code, but the JSON model and the array name is different. That's all. Okay. Now let us see. Click on edit. So you got the projects, click on plus, and you can see new row has been added. So like this, these are your existing projects. These are your existing projects, and these are your new projects that you want to add. And if you do not want, you can delete them. You can delete the existing project as well. Okay, for example, this is my project. You want to delete it. Yeah, existing project also you can delete. And when you click on the save button at the top, you need to send this updated information to the backend. When you click on the save button, you need to send the updated information to the backend. So when you are sending this updated information to the backend, You are again sending a parent record along with the multiple child records. So that means this is going to call your create deep entity. This is going to call your create deep entity. Remember, whenever plain record is going, it will call your that corresponding entities create underscore entity or update underscore entity, delete underscore entity. So those in predefined functions. But whenever you are sending a parent record along with the multiple child records, even in the create scenario, even in the edit scenario, even in the create scenario, even in the edit scenario, it will go and call your create underscore deep underscore entity. So that is the reason in the create underscore deep underscore entity, we write the common code uh, that can be applicable for both create and edit scenario. So let us go here, runtime artifacts, DPC extension class. Yeah, so let me just go to the create deep entity. So let me continue. All right, double click on this. Yeah. So if you see this logic, the reason why I used the modify statement, I told you on Friday, the modified statement can be used both for create and update scenarios. The modify statement, what it does, it checks the record. If the record does not exist in the table, it creates it. If the record already there, then it updates it. So the modify statement will be helpful for create and update scenarios. Okay. But here we also need to add one more line of code. I will tell you what is that line of code. Since this code is common for create and update scenarios, before you insert the project records into the projects table, if at all any projects exist for a particular employee, you need to delete them. Why you need to delete them? Why you need to delete them? Because from the front end, for create and update both scenarios, you are going to call this particular function only, create underscore deep underscore entity. Now for the edit scenario, the employee is already having some records. Now he edited them. Now whatever the projects he has edited, he is freshly sending those projects to the backend. Correct? So you need to edit the existing projects of the employee because the fresh projects, maybe some he added few, he deleted few, whatever he want to do, he has done. And now the freshly updated projects he's sending from the front end. So you need to delete the existing projects of this employee. So we are going to write a simple statement, delete from this particular projects table, delete from this projects table where employee ID is equal to, so your employee ID is present in ls data hyphen employee ID. So we are writing this extra statement because in case any projects are there, obviously some projects will be there for a particular employee. So in that edit scenario, obviously you need to delete the existing projects of the employee because he has updated them in the front end and he's sending the updated projects from the front end. So you delete the existing projects and update the fresh projects. So that is what we are doing it here. Now let's activate. So did you understand, guys, why we are writing this statement? For example, let's say I did not write this statement. I have not written this statement. Do you know what happens? Now Venki is already having two projects, okay, one and two. But in the front end, let's say in these two projects, he deleted it. When he deleted it, it is not removing from the database. When you click on delete, it is removed from the JSON model, which is a front end memory. This is just deleted from the front end memory. So Apple project he has removed from the front end memory. Now he saved it. Okay, he added one more project also and saved it. Now what happens totally? This record is gone. So 1 and 2, this Nokia project is there, and in addition to the Nokia project, let's say there is IKEA project extra. Now these two records will go to the backend. But in your backend database table, this Apple project is not deleted, right? So he will have this Nokia project, this Apple project, and in addition, there is one more project. Okay, so the end user will be thinking like this Apple project is deleted, but since you are not deleting them from the database table, they will exist. Okay, and there is also a chance of duplicate records because see, this Nokia project is already there in the backend. And since you are sending it again to the backend, it thinks it's a new project. And while trying to add this uh, project, maybe we use the modify statement, so you may not get this problem, but the deleting scenarios will get affected. Got my point? You click on delete the Apple project and you will be thinking the Apple project is gone. Okay. But in the backend, the Apple project still exists. Clear, guys? So that's the reason we need to delete all the existing projects of this particular employee and insert the fresh projects that are coming from the JSON model. Okay, so that's all. This is active. Now let's do the final thing, and that is save button. There is a save button. So this particular save button, this belongs to, one second, let's go to the edit fragment. This save button is present commonly for, is it common or, yeah, it is common, right? Save button is common for both edit and create scenario. Okay, so when you click on the save button, let me go to view to. Here we have just kept it panel. Yeah. Where is the save code that we have written previously? On press save. Let me just check out. Yeah. So on press save. So when you press save, you are checking in which mode you are. So if you are in the create mode, so you have written all this logic. And if you are in the edit mode, you have written all this logic. Okay. Now we need to write create deep entity code. Okay. We need to call the create deep entity. So previously, this is going to call employee set underscore update underscore entity, correct? Because at that time we are sending only single record. Whenever you are sending a single record, the corresponding method gets executed. That is employee set underscore create entity, employee set underscore update entity, employee set underscore delete entity. So they are for the single records. But now you are not sending single record, you are sending parent along with the child. So always remember, whenever you are sending parent along with the child, then you need to call create deep entity only. Even in the create scenario, even in the update scenario. So that is very important, guys. Okay. So now when we are in the edit mode, we are reading all this data, that's fine. But we also need to send the project's data, just like the way you have done it for the create scenario. So two projects means project information. My project information is from the edit project JSON model, edit project JSON model. The name is wrong. One second, edit. Yeah. So my JSON model name is this dot edit project JSON model dot get data, and the array name is results. So from this array, this edit scenario is working. So that's the reason I changed the array name. I changed the JSON model name. So if you observe, I'm not doing much things here. I'm just doing the reverse of whatever we have done uh, for the create scenario. So in the create scenario, the JSON model is different and the array is different. For the edit scenario, the JSON model is edit project JSON model and the array name is results. Okay, all right. And after that, you need to call create deep entity only. So you need to write this create employee set, create employee set, and the data that you need to send is this data, and you can write employee updated successfully. So that's all, my dear friends. Now let us see if this is working or not by editing some project information of the employees. Right, this is guys, is my voice clear? This is connected to some other network. The Wi-Fi shows very less points here. Still my voice is clear, guys. Hello. 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 Respond, guys, at least.
I say you're audible.
Audible. Okay. Fine. Let us edit this project information. I'm going to click on edit. Okay, and here, let me change, instead of the client Nokia, I'm going to change, for example, the body shop, TBS means the body shop, project management, so project name, uh, let us write some items, items management, something I'm giving it, some dummy nonsense I'm giving. So let me put it here. So we updated one project and let's add one project as well. So let me add this project like project for Winky03 and client name. So client name, what shall I give? Uh, let me give the client name as Vida Excel. So Vida Excel is a client actually. Project name, uh, shipping exceptions. All right, so that's all. I'm going to save it. Let's keep a debug point and see if everything is going fine or not. So we are in the edit scenario. Let's keep a debug point. So click save, continue, 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 continue. Now check the data that you are sending it to the backend. So is the data is fine or not? So your employee record is fine. Now let us see the project record. Now in the project records, so we got 3 records. That is also fine, but this underscore metadata which is coming, so this may give a problem. So this is my expectation. So let us see if we get it or not. So let me clear the console network, clear the network. Now let me keep a debug point inside the success and let me keep a debug point inside the error. Let's continue. Oh, it has went into the success. And now let us see what is the response that we got. Okay, so it has not given any problem, guys. Okay, so let's continue the execution. And it is saying employee updated successfully. Okay, so since the employee is updated successfully, if I go back and if I display the Winky details again, so I should see the three projects for Winky. Yeah, so I can see Vida Excel, which is the new project. Yeah, so we got it, guys. You can also check this from your backend table just to be assured that the records are really created. So let's go to ZB70 projects, display. Let's go to the contents of this table. Let's click execute and you can see for Venki, uh, Vida Excel and where is Venki? Venki's ID is 2, right? 1002. Yeah. So for with 1002, you can see there are three projects. So Venki project 01, 02, 03. So like this, you can do the edit operation by using create deep entity as well. Okay. So with this, we have successfully completed the deep create, deep update. Okay. So both the scenarios. Uh, yeah. So that's all, guys, for today. And in tomorrow's class, we are going to enhance our application, the create scenario as well as update scenarios with adding employee's profile picture. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to give an option here for the end user to upload his profile picture. So how to upload the file? So this is what you will learn as a part of this upload file concept. Okay, and what we need to write in the backend, what we need to write in the front end. So both of them you will understand. So first we'll start with the backend part and then we'll start the front end part. So after that, we will also add the logic for uploading the employee resume. Okay, so employee's profile picture and then uploading employee's resume. Okay, so this is what is the agenda for the next coming classes in this week. So any questions? Guys, are you no able to understand the concept or getting confused because of the single view? Actually, I would have taken separate views, but I just wanted to experiment with a single view. So I just gone with this approach.
It's little tricky to understand, but it's fine now. We can slowly will understand this here.
Just listen the video once or twice,
Okay.
then you will understand, guys. But uh, see, what my suggestion is, don't implement this in a single view. You take separate pages. Okay, then you will understand. So if you have clean separate page for the create scenario, you take a separate page. For the edit scenario, you take a separate page, so that you will not have this much of confusion. Okay,
Yes, sir.
but are you getting the concept? If if you understand the concept here, the concept is pretty simple, not that much complicated. Okay, uh, from the logic, what you need to do, you cleanly, since you have already taken a separate edit controller and create controller, create page separate. So you separate the logic also. When you separate the logic, you will not have all these problems. Okay. So my point is, so let me show you the existing application. Since there is no much performance problem also. It is nothing wrong in taking separate pages, guys. Say here, when you click on the employee, you are displaying it here. So this is a display screen, that's all. In the display screen, there is no edit button, delete button, nothing. So here you will not have any problem. This is just a view with a object header and icon tab bar. Okay, that's all. This is just like your display screen. So in our code, this is this one. Okay, you can copy this code and put it in your second view, view2.view.xml. And in the create employee, so I have taken a separate page. This is a separate page. So here you just only write the logic related to create, only create. Okay, so clean separation in the in this create views controller. You just write your create controller logic. So you no need to worry about those if conditions. You no need to worry about the mode because this is only create view. Since it is a create view, the logic will be create related logic only. So you no need to store the variable this dot mode. Okay, all these things are not required. And this is the edit scenario. This is again a separate page. This is a separate page. So here you will be doing, you will pass the employee ID. So this particular employee ID you will pass to the edit controller. Okay, to the edit page. Edit page is a separate page. So since it's a separate page, you pass this employee ID cleanly only to that view. That's all. Okay. So you bind the existing data. So today, whatever we have done, so you need to do it here. Okay. So you bind the data. So this is a very clean page again. So no confusions, nothing. Okay. But if you understand this one, because this is all in one only, create, edit, delete, everything is happening in a single page. If you understand this one, clean separation is very easy for you. Okay. Because nowadays the customers are asking the edit button directly in the display page. So the data should get displayed and it should be edited using the edit button like this. This is display, edit. And this is the reason why I thought of, okay, let's give this for your batch. Okay. So if you are not understanding the concept, then you let me know. Okay, but if concept is clear, but with a little confusion, yes, confusion will be there because we are writing everything in a single page.
And sir, last two class recordings, 35 when you're not able to open it.
You are not able to open it, right?
Yes,
This
35 and 36 is not there. I think you did not share no. Friday's one.
1 second. Let me just check.